What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the BroTech Gaming Podcast. Here with my boy Carlos. We got some stuff to talk about. We got some Comic Con announcements. We got some tech news. I finally finished The Boys like 2-3 weeks later, so we're gonna talk about it. So I think first we're gonna talk about The Boys. And I literally just watched it this morning, so it's like fresh in my brain. Um, it was okay,
Just
right?
okay. Just
Like
okay.
it was okay. I don't know, man. Like I kind of felt like the momentum was peaking, and then it kind of held there for a second, and then it just kind of started to like drop again. So I mean, it was okay. So just everybody knows, I think there's gonna be some spoiler talk for this episode because there's just so much shit to talk about from The Boys that it's gonna be hard to avoid spoilers. And I mean, technically the finale's been like 2 weeks now, so shame
Yeah.
on you for not watching. So what did you think of it first, like when you finished it?
So I actually liked it. I liked like all their character arcs kind of came to an end for a lot of the stories like Kamiko, like we got a look into her past on why she doesn't talk. They kind of talked about that. Frenchie kind of got over his guilt. Who else do we have? Starlight kind of got her powers at the
She
end.
got her powers back.
Yeah, I think she got it like
Sorry
super
about
like beefed up because she was struggling to fly, I think, during like one of the past seasons, and then this one she kind of like just darted away, which was pretty
Shut up, like
cool.
Superman. Yeah. I guess that's kind of like the main thing for me is it was really a very character driven season, which isn't a bad thing. Um, I wasn't really like feeling the episode, like the like Homelander really didn't do shit in the whole episode. There was like that little phase where they were just kind of like killing people in the building, but I mean it really left us with like every cliffhanger that you could possibly think of because Ashley injected herself with V. So I don't know what happened with that. You got who's the chick that's like breastfeeding Homelander?
Firecracker, that's her
Yeah,
name.
Firecracker. Like she's got some kind of like allergy infection
Yeah,
going on. Um, Ryan just kind of like escaped after killing like the CIA director. I'm telling you, bro, spoilers, spoilers.
yeah, you guys have been
Um,
warned.
yeah, you've been warned. Uh, and then like I don't know, man. Like everybody got kind of like captured at the end of it, and I honestly don't know what that's about. Like I don't think that that's Vought, because I feel like if it was Vought, they would have just flat out killed them. I don't think they would have captured them. So I think something else is going on there, and I think it has to do with Butcher because Butcher wouldn't just like come in and kill what's her face and just say you're welcome and then just have everyone get captured. So I think there's something going on there. I feel like they're being captured for their own personal safety because I think Butcher's about to like enact an all-out war on Soups at this point. Those are just my thoughts though.
Yeah, yeah, Homelander didn't really do shit this whole season, man. Like he was kind of like diving back into his past and kind of like just taking care of past trauma,
Mhm.
like with the people that kept him in the tanks and stuff. Like he went down there and like killed everybody, but he didn't kill like the old lady, I guess, like his mother figure, because he let her live. um so like after he did that, he kind of just he was trying to just like to make a plan about getting like Soups like in the army or the military and stuff like that, so that way they would be able to like run things better in the country, like kind of like take over.
Mhm.
Because like he said it like a shitload of times, like he doesn't see people as like people. It's just like their playthings or whatever.
Yeah,
So
there are
he
toys.
yeah, so he's trying to make Ryan into that, and Ryan still has like a big heart because of his mom. He wasn't totally brainwashed from Homelander, and he still has like a conscience. So,
Mhm. Mhm.
but I think towards the end, he's kind of, I feel like he's kind of doing his own thing. Like he doesn't want to listen to Butcher. He doesn't want to listen to Homelander. I think he's gonna become his own person, and probably he's gonna be the one that probably takes down Homelander, maybe.
Yeah.
It just depends because like the new season is gonna come out like in 2 years, so like he already grew from like last season, like he looked like a little kid, now he's a teenager, like he's probably gonna be like almost like a full grown adult by the next season.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, they already made so many announcements like immediately too. Like everybody's already itching for another for like the next season of it because it kind of I heard or I read like the reviews from like IGN and and some stuff, and literally it was what I said like what 2 weeks ago. I was like, this season feels like a filler for season five. Like everything's just building up to season five, and everybody kind of emulated that. I'm still kind of confused with a lot of things, like unanswered things. Like, so is Butcher, does he like, is he not dying now? I mean, like, did he just inject more V? Because he always had those weird parasite things inside of him, which also makes no sense because it's like you went from just having like superpowers to now you have a parasite. So I don't know where the parasite thing came from. Um, I don't even remember when Starlight switched places with the shapeshifter. I like forgot about it because I think I was buzzed when I watched that
Okay.
episode.
Yeah, I can explain. Okay, so the first thing about what's his name? So I don't know if you remember when they went to the barn and they had the like flying sheep episode.
Yeah.
So when they first get there, he lets this rabbit go because the rabbit looks fine. And then later in the episode, the rabbit tries to like kill him because the rabbit had like a tentacle come out of it. So that was the parasite. So
Mhm.
he ended up killing the rabbit, and then you can kind of see the parasite like moving around like in his like face and stuff. So that parasite represents Negan, Jeffrey D. Morgan. So
Okay,
that's who he's talking to. He's talking to the parasite.
that's
S-
interesting.
So when the parasite takes over, that's when he's able to use those powers like towards the end. So
Okay.
after what happened with Ryan and Ryan kind of went his separate way, he was kind of just like, well, I don't have anything else, to live for basically because that was my main purpose. And now that Ryan's going on to do his own thing, he just let him take over. So that's why he looks very like younger because the parasite pretty much took over his body.
Yeah, so he's just basically like allowing it to take over. So he was basically like trying to fight it off, which was probably killing him.
Yeah.
But now the parasite is basically like preserving him,
Yeah.
so he can kill Homelander.
Yeah, so basically, so like, yeah, so he's like a lot stronger. I don't know if he can kill Homelander because I feel like because that rabbit died, I feel like he can still be killed. So the thing with Starlight, I don't know if you remember, but they were at the bar, and a fan came and was like, "Oh, I want to take a picture with you." So that was the shapeshifter. So she touched her shoulder, and then she captured her and locked her up, and then she went to Huey's place and pretty much had like a
Bro,
shitload of sex with
I don't
them.
know how I missed that. Like I must have went to the bathroom or something. Cause like I only saw it in the end credits. Like, well, it wasn't even the end credits, it was a recap. I saw it in the recap. It was like, I'm like, when did they switch places, bro? Anyways. I mean it was still a good season, but I think it was actually my least favorite season. I think the previous ones were better. I think everything was building up. I think it kind of peaked in the middle somewhere and kind of fell off again. Like Kamiko, I really wanted more out of Kamiko this season. I feel like she didn't really do a whole lot, and it seemed like she was getting her ass kicked a lot. Like she got her ass kicked a lot, and then she had to like come back to life again, and she just isn't as ferocious as she was from like season two, season three. But I'm glad her and Frenchie finally had like their moment. I feel like they were always sort of building up to that. Um, Mother's Milk is like a lost cause to me. Like I don't know what he's about this season. He was just kind of there like the whole season. Um, yeah, like I still feel bad about the Deep killing his octopus lady. Like we didn't even talk about that on the last episode. But I'm just like, bro, he straight up just like killed her. I was like, I felt sad.
Yeah, that
I
was a
felt
sad
bad for
moment.
the octopus, bro.
Yeah,
Like
because
he's
she was
a,
like in the closet just like dying.
I know. So he's just a terrible. He's just like a terrible dude. He's just a terrible dude, straight up. Like I don't understand like the bromance between him and Noir. So it's like, okay, whatever. We just got to get through it now.
Yeah, they're just bros. Like after they went
He's
from
like,
killing those
bro,
dudes, they're just like, bro,
bro.
bro. It shit reminded
Like
me of
that's the wrong Ashley. It's like they're all named Ashley, bro.
yeah, he had the murder boner.
I know. Dude, it's so weird, bro. Anyways,
Yeah.
yeah, so that ended, and then I guess the big cliffhanger besides that was it looks like um Homelander's dad, what's his name? Jensen Ackles, Soldier Boy. It's like Soldier Boy's still there in captivity, so I don't know what's gonna happen with that the next season, but season 5 better pop off, man. That's all I'm saying. It better pop off.
I think it will. I think everybody has like new arcs that they're able to go like deep into. Like especially with Butcher, man. Butcher is just like a wild card right now. Like we don't really know what he's up to.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess we kind of do because like Jeffrey D. Morgan's character, like he wanted like genocide, so that's maybe what he's up to. So
Bro, I can't believe he just like killed what's her face just like that though. Like there's so much build up to her character being so threatening, and then just for him to just like rip her in half. I was like, what the fuck, bro? I can't believe you did that.
yeah, she didn't like. I don't know. So like her power is like I thought she was like indestructible because I remember one time they went up and like headshotted her and then like the bullet just like bounced off. So
Yeah.
like she's impenetrable to bullets but not being torn apart.
I guess it just goes to show how strong Butcher's parasite is, if that's the case. But obviously he still needs the virus because he stole that just so he could go after Homelander. So he's gonna need that for Homelander anyways. Because
Well,
we
he
don't
has
really know
it.
how powerful he is. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think he's like off to the White House or something. Cause I keep seeing like pictures of the White House and then you see like all the like the flying soups like up there, and then like
Mhm.
Butcher's like on the lawn, like about to go like 1v like 75 against them.
That's in the comic book too. That's like the comic book photo. So
Yeah.
yeah, looking forward to season 5. Obviously, even though season 4 was pretty weak, I feel like it's just a build up for season 5. So, still gonna be all over that when it comes out. Otherwise, I don't really have a whole lot else to say about the finale, unless you do.
No, I thought the finale as a whole was pretty good. The season, yeah, like it was a little low, but it wasn't like Game of Thrones season 8 low.
Hmm.
It's like it's still up there as a good season.
A movie
Especially
story.
yeah, especially like for a binge watch, it's still good.
So, out of 10, what do you give it?
This season, I would probably give it a 7, as like all the other seasons were probably like a 9, like a 9.5 ish.
Yeah,
So
I'm kind
there's
of there too.
yeah, there was a little bit of drop off, but I mean, we'll get over it. The next season, I feel like it's gonna I don't know what you call it, but I don't know what's the word for it.
I don't know, man. Season 5, let's go.
Yeah, season 5, man. Yeah, man.
Okay.
Cheers to the weekend.
Cheers to that.
Yeah, so if
Yeah.
I'm stumbling on the words, man, that's what it
Happy
is.
Saturday, everybody.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we get into the Comic Con stuff, I just want to make a couple tech news announcements. So sorry for the non-techie people. Um, so AMD, they're coming out with their new processors pretty soon. They've announced their 9000 series processors. It's due out. It was supposed to actually be due out, I think, the 10th, like August 10th, but it got pushed back. So it got pushed back from release because I think they found some quality control issues with some of their chips, which is cool, which is fine. The one thing that gets me excited about the new AMD processors is the current 7000 series are going to get a lot cheaper now. So I think I'm like itching, man. Like I'm itching for my next build, and I think it's going to be AM5. And if the Ryzen 7000s like drop like in price, and I might hop on that when that happens. So um otherwise they haven't officially come out. There hasn't been a lot of reviews on the processors yet. A little lackluster because we have the 7800 X3D chip, which is still like the fastest gaming chip, and usually like the next generation will kind of trump that a little bit. But even the 9900 is still not faster than the 7800 X3D. So that I don't know if that's necessarily a bad thing. I think it's because it's not a X3D chip, so maybe it just has its own the drawbacks. Um, so that's a good thing and a bad thing. So the good thing is that you can still get a 7800 X3D, and that's still like a performance champion. The bad news is they're probably not going to drop the price on it because it's still fast as fuck. So that's the only like announcement I have right now for tech news. Just AMD's coming out with their new chips, got pushed back. Hopefully that drives prices down on current generation. And then I can hop on that AM5 small form factor. Let's go.
Very
Let's
nice.
go. Yeah.
Bro, I was thinking about it too, man. Like I keep thinking about wanting to upgrade, but then I think about like everything that I have to buy: motherboard, RAM,
Yeah.
CPU. Probably like I'm kind of like leaning towards Intel, man. Like I kind of want to switch it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Because you know I was with AMD. Like my graphics card, I had AMD when I first built the system. I had it for what, like 3 years, and then I switched to NVIDIA.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I might go full like Intel, NVIDIA.
I think that's different though, because like it's one thing when you're talking like AMD graphics versus NVIDIA graphics. Like that's kind of like David and Goliath. To me, I feel like Intel and AMD processors like Ryzen is sort of neck and neck. Like they always go back and forth between generations. So whatever Intel's next gen, which is probably going to be like their 15th gen now, it's going to be like their 15900K or 15700K, whatever it is. It's definitely going to outperform the Ryzen 9000 right now because they always do like this back and forth, like they go back and forth. So I think for me, I'm still gonna stick with AMD because I know that their AM5 socket is gonna last for a few generations. I feel like if I get Intel, whatever their current socket is right now, I'm gonna be stuck with that generation unless I upgrade the motherboard, and I don't want to have to do that. Like I want to get like the most out of my my socket. Like I still have the same fucking motherboard that I had when I dropped my very first processor in it, which was like the 1600. Same motherboard that I bought like basically like what 4 years ago now, and I can still upgrade. Like I can still drop another upgrade CPU in there if I want to. So I think I'm gonna stick with it.
True, true. What motherboard do you have?
It's the Asus TUF B450.
Oh, the 450. Okay.
Yeah, because I think you have the 550, right?
I have the
You have like the
570.
550 plus, oh 570 plus,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, yeah. And I mean, there's definitely like quality of life things that I want out of a newer motherboard. Like, I had to install like a separate like Wi-Fi chip in there because my motherboard didn't have built-in Wi-Fi. My motherboard doesn't have like extra M.2 slots. Um, I think the VRMs are kind of weak, so it gets a little hot inside of there. Other than that, I mean, it's still a good motherboard. Like it still has a lot of software, but there's just like a few bells and whistles I'm not getting out of it. Whereas I feel like even if I get like an entry level, like AM5, like a B650, I feel like there's gonna be so many more features. It's like when you buy a car, dude. Like when I bought my fucking car, it was like right on the brink of like new technology. It's like you can choose if you want like a touchscreen display or a CD player. And I'm like, I'm gonna save money and get the CD player. And now like all the cars, it's fucking standard. They all have fucking like Bluetooth CD player, touchscreen, like Spotify, you know. And I'm like, all I had to do is wait a year, and all those features are gonna come with my car. So that's like it's the same with the motherboards. Like all the motherboards have all of the same features now that like I'm missing out on all of it.
Yeah, that sucks. I don't know. 'Cause I know Karen wants to upgrade her computer. Maybe because she wants to get a like a small form factor too. But the case that she has isn't even that big. Like in my opinion, but she wants like a kind of like Michelle's, like in the
Yeah,
background right there. She wants something very small and compact.
yeah. Lee
She
and Lee,
wants,
bro.
yeah, she wants a
Lee
cute
and Lee's got
case.
some good stuff. That's a cute case.
Yeah.
But then you got to buy new components for that too.
Yeah, which I don't mind. I'm just kind of waiting for like a more permanent job right now to start like splurging for PC
Yeah.
components.
I'm gonna shout out to one manufacturer that I've been looking at right now. Lee and Lee did another collaboration with a company called Dan Case, and they came out with a case called the Lee and Lee Dan A3. I think it's A3. It's either A3 or M3. I want to say it's A3. But basically, it's a small form factor case, but it uses micro ATX, not ITX for the motherboard. So technically, like I could use all the same components that I have in mine and shove it into a smaller form factor. So I've been kind of like toying with that one a little bit because it's not going to be as small as Michelle's, but it's going to be pretty close. Very, very close, but it's going to be for micro ATX, which is what I have. So I'm debating, but that's called I think it's called the Dan A3 Lee and Lee collab. It's only like $60. It's cheap.
It's not bad.
Yeah, you could probably even look into that because you could potentially use a lot of the same parts out of Karen's case too.
Yeah, yeah. I'm kind of, I don't know, man. I think like once I get the job thing like situated, I think we can take a trip to Micro Center, make like a little vlog out of it or
Do a
something.
vlog, bro. We'll do a Micro Center vlog. That sounds fun. We haven't done that in a minute.
Yeah. All right. So moving on. What else do we
Moving
got?
on. Well, so let's get into some Comic Con stuff now. So Comic Con started on Thursday, which is crazy because I didn't know that it started this week. I thought Comic Con was in August for some reason. So I feel like it's early, man. Isn't it usually in August?
I thought it was April. I thought it was sometime like in the springtime. I don't
April,
know.
bro. He tripping.
I thought it was April because they were like announcing all the movies coming out like in the summertime and stuff like that. Well, not
That's true.
announcing, but having like final trailers and stuff like that.
Yeah, so I mean a lot of announcements. Like we were talking before we started the recording, but not really a lot of exciting announcements so far. I mean, I know they still got a couple days. I mean, there's been a lot of cool stuff popping off from like the boys. Like everybody's craving more boys. So they had a panel, I think I think it was yesterday or the day before. Um, they got a couple spin-off shows. They have the boys Mexico, and then they have the boys Vought Rising. And I think there's a second season of
Gen V.
Gen V coming out too. So I mean, those are cool things to look forward to. Which is like it's a fun universe, you know. Like I think I enjoy that more than the Marvel universe than the DC universe because we talked last time. It's just a different kind of superhero show. Um, so I think more within that sort of like raunchy, violent, dark comedy universe is actually kind of cool. Like I would be looking forward to that stuff.
Yeah. So let me see. So yeah, so one of the spin-offs that they have for the boys was Vought Rising. So that one's gonna be following Soldier Boy and Stormfront. Okay, so it's gonna be Soldier Boy and Stormfront. So it's basically gonna be, yeah, it's a hard name to remember, man.
Okay.
So it's gonna be following them in the 1950s, basically like around like World War II time ish. Because if you remember in the show that she was like married to like a Nazi person,
Yeah.
and then that was kind of like her downfall in the show.
Yeah.
And then I think Soldier Boy was just like straight up like racist or something.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting because it's sort of like gonna put a play on Captain America, but it's gonna be, you know, their version of that. Kind of like how a Homelander is like the fucked up version of Superman. Soldier Boy is the fucked up version of Captain America. So it'll be interesting, you know, like using that timeline. I'm not really sure how much they can do with it though, because I mean it's a prequel show, but unless they're gonna pull like the full like Marvel thing, like I don't know how it's gonna just tie into stuff that's happening present day. Like if it's just a prequel for the sake of a prequel, just like for fun filler, then I mean I'm down if it closes out okay, but I don't know, like are they gonna have like a good guy? Are they gonna have a bad guy? Or are we just gonna watch like Stormfront and Soldier Boy just like fuck shit up for 8 episodes, 9 episodes, you know? What's the payoff?
Yeah, because they did have like a flashback. Like Black Noir was there. I don't know if like Black Noir is like old or like the original one because
Yeah.
he died. Um, yeah, I don't know, but it might be an interesting show. I'll
Yeah.
watch it.
Yeah, more announcements. We'll wait on more announcements. You know, we'll keep everybody up to date if we hear more stuff. We're only gonna update people on stuff that we're interested in because they announced a bunch of Marvel shit and we're not we're not really into Marvel anymore. Um like I was really excited to want to watch Deadpool Wolverine and like that's already fading in the back of my mind. Like I'm just gonna wait for a stream.
Really,
Um
bro? Let's
I
go
don't
watch
know,
it
man.
next Saturday.
I mean, we could. Like, I'm kind of waiting for the crowd to die off too, because it's always so busy the first week. So, I'm trying to stay away from spoilers. Like, I do want to watch it. I'm not that excited about watching it. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, I had to
We'll
go
see.
on Twitter and I like muted all the words like Deadpool, Wolverine, Ryan Reynolds, Hugh Jackman. Like
Yeah,
I had to mute all of that.
I just gotta stay off of it. Period. Okay, so one thing that popped up on the Comic Con panel that kind of like piqued my interest. It's kind of like I don't know how I feel about it, but it's Dexter. So they announced two Dexter projects. So we have the prequel Dexter, which is man, what do they call it? Like Rise of something or let me see. But yeah, so there it's a prequel show of like a young Dexter. Um, which is funny because Michael C. Hall is still going to be narrating it. Like he's going to be like Dexter's inner voice through the show. So I mean that's cool that he's getting like his, you know, his like print on there. Um, but apparently like he is also going to be coming out with the Dexter Resurrection sequel series, which I have no idea what that means, man. Like, how many times are you gonna kill Dexter? How many times is he gonna come back? So I don't know if this takes place like right after the recent show that he just did,
New Blood, I
or
think that was what it was called.
yeah, or I don't know if it's gonna take place like somewhere in between because maybe it'll fill in like what happened after Florida, like after the hurricane, which is weird because they got to make Michael C. Hall look younger again, which it looks weird every time they make him look young. They give him that weird ass haircut. But I mean, either way, like I'll probably watch it because I don't know, man. I like Dexter. There's nothing out there like Dexter. Um, you know, you're rooting for the bad guy, but it's okay. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm for it. Especially if he's narrating the prequels. You kind of see the trauma that he went through as a kid. Because I feel like those seasons where they mentioned it, like with like him and his brother, like those were like the best seasons. So
Yeah,
like touching on that, like with his mom and like the shipping crate and stuff like that. You know, maybe if they did it like right after where he's like a little bit grown up and like his dad like catches him, like, you know, because I think he was like what, killing animals or something like that.
yeah,
So like his dad already knew what he was, and if it touches on that to where the dad is teaching him how to do it, but he gets more like in depth with it, like that would be pretty cool.
yeah. I think
But
what's interesting is like their cast, the people that they're casting in the show. So with the prequel show, it's called Original Sin. It's got Sarah Michelle Gellar and it has Christian Slater and Patrick Dempsey. So I don't know who the characters are. Like I'm imagining that one of them is going to be like a young Harry. So that's probably I want to say it's Christian Slater, which is kind of weird because he's like really short, and like the actor that played Harry in the actual like Dexter show, he was pretty big and imposing. So I don't know if I agree with that.
I mean, Christian Slater's
Um,
already kind of old though. Like, how is he gonna
he's already
play
kind
like
of
a
old too,
younger
yeah.
old guy when he's already old
Or he
too?
could just be a detective too.
Yeah,
And then Sarah Michelle Gellar, I'm assuming that's going to be Dexter's mom, maybe. Like I don't know. Well, I mean, he never had a mom because
yeah,
his mom
the
died when he was a baby.
yeah. I mean, maybe like flashback scenes or like
Yeah,
Harry's wife or something. I don't know.
it could be Harry's wife. Yeah, like that's stuff that we don't know. But they just announced that, so I'm interested. I guess I'm interested in Dexter stuff. Um, Bunch of Star Trek stuff or the Star Trekkies, but I actually like the Star Trek movies, but I don't like the Star Trek shows. So I don't know that I'm too excited about any of that.
Did you like the Chris Pine movies?
I like those. I thought they were cool, but they like stopped on the third one when they were like jumping motorcycles and shit. Because I'm pretty sure it was the same director as Fast and Furious, like Justin Lin or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
And he was just like, "Oh, let me do Fast and Furious in outer space." So then it became Star Trek, and then it became Ludacris and Tyrese Gibson after that.
Yeah. I think it's still like
Our favorite franchise.
yeah, I think we still got like 2 more years until like part 2 of 10 comes out.
Dude, it's like I already forgot about it, bro. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean it's still gonna do really good in the movies because those movies always do because people want to go in there and just like numb their brains.
Yeah, people like to be entertained. Um, okay, they've made some Walking Dead announcements. You want to talk about Walking Dead?
Yeah, so they announced what was it, Dead City season 2, but I mean that was already announced like a while ago. I think they just put out the first trailer for it.
Okay.
So I'm excited for that. Anything like Negan related, I'm for it. Because, dude, to be honest, like Negan was like probably one of my favorite characters towards the end of The Walking Dead.
He's kind of grown on me, which I kind of hate it. Like I'm telling you, dude. Like my favorite episode was the flashback episode of Negan's story, like his origin story. Probably like my favorite episode, man, because I was getting kind of bored, like leading into like the end of season 9, getting into season 10, and then that episode happened. I'm like, damn, like this actually makes me like Negan. But it's like, of course they're gonna do that shit. They want you to like Negan. Like it's like, oops, we forgot that he killed Glenn. Like,
Yeah, but every
because
time
they
you
drag that shit on for so long, you're like, oh man, I forgot that happened.
dude, but every time you see Maggie, she's just like, I'm never gonna forget. It's like, bro, we already forgot. Like it's been like 10 years already.
Yeah,
Like your son's
it's
already
so,
grown up. Like move on.
it's so frustrating too. I think the episode I left off on is when they're trapped inside the tunnel. And then like Negan and Maggie are like butting heads the whole time, and Negan's like, we need to go this way, and Maggie's like, no, we're gonna go this way. And then like he has the opportunity to like help her, like when they're hanging off like the train, like the underground, like the subway train, and he can grab her, but he doesn't. It just like lets her fall off. I'm like, oh fuck, she's not gonna let that go, bro. So he wasn't doing himself any favors, but yeah, I gotta get caught up on all that, man. Like Dead City, Daryl and Carol's thing. I gotta watch like Michonne and Rick. It's just a lot. It's just a lot to absorb.
Yeah, so with the other one, the Daryl Dixon show, I think it's called like The Book of Carol.
Yeah.
So I think this is gonna, because at the end of the first season of Daryl, they showed Carol, like with, I think it was like with his motorcycle or something. Somebody was trying to steal his motorcycle from her, and she just basically tore him up.
Yeah.
So she's on her way to find Daryl, but she doesn't know where he's at. So it's gonna be kind of interesting to see how she tracks him down across the ocean.
Okay.
But yeah, so Daryl was a really good season. The first season was really good. I highly suggest that you watch it with the subtitles because everybody has like a very heavy French accent. So it's very hard to understand what they're all saying, especially with Daryl. Like, he talks like really low and like raspy. So subtitles is a must. I had to watch it with subtitles.
Bunch of Frenchies running around.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, man. I mean, there's like so many announcements. There's not a whole lot that really interests me. Like they had some more footage for Lord of the Rings. I kind of like the first season, but it was, like season 2 looks a lot better than the first season. I don't think you even watched it at all. You didn't touch Lord of the Rings, right?
I've never been into it.
You don't like that high fantasy stuff?
Okay, so this is what happened. So back in the day, when I was like on BitTorrent, I had downloaded the movie, but it was like 5 hours long. So I wasn't actually able to watch it because when I plugged it into the TV, it said it wasn't recognized because I guess the file was too big. So like after that, I just gave up. I was just like, eh.
You want me to lend you the Blu-rays, bro?
I won't watch it, dude. I don't have the attention span for a 3-hour movie anymore.
They're so good though. They're so good. But yeah, to each their own.
I could just watch a
On
breakdown of each
Yeah,
movie.
I guess you could watch a breakdown. I don't even know if the breakdown really does justice to it though, because it's just like one of those things you kind of have to experience it for, especially when it was like during its time. Like probably a lot different now, but there's not really a whole lot that kind of lives up to it to this point. Like Game of Thrones is probably the closest thing that we can compare as far as like epic fantasy goes. Um, which, by the way, I'm caught up on House of the Dragon too. I don't know if you are, but
Yes,
we don't have
sir.
to talk about it this episode. Tomorrow's the next episode. I feel like this last episode actually was kind of filler, in my opinion, but we can talk about that next week. Next week we can. But yeah. As far as like epic fantasies though, it's just like Lord of the Rings is kind of like the next thing. Like there's not a whole lot else out there. Um, The Witcher kind of fell flat. I think there were like a few other series that like Netflix and Prime were trying to come out with. It kind of went nowhere too. So Lord of the Rings, I'll watch it.
If
Any
you
other?
have like 3 hours to kill.
Yeah. You have any other like announcements that you were kind of like excited to hear about or looking forward to?
Not really. I have to look more into it. Maybe when the weekend is over and all the announcements have been finished, we can touch on it next week. For like the final verdict on what we liked and didn't like and what we're like blah about.
Yeah, for sure.
And then we can talk about Deadpool too.
Yeah, hopefully we get to watch it.
Bro, let's just go watch
Yo.
it. See if Michelle's off Saturday, because we're gonna go. We're gonna go Saturday.
Okay, we'll try to do it Saturday because her brother wants to watch it too. So
All right, yeah, we'll
I'm
get
down as long as we plan ahead. I gotta check Michelle's schedule.
okay.
Um,
Get some beers and food.
yeah, for sure. I'm looking forward to Alien Romulus. That looks cool because
Yes.
I like the OG Aliens. It was like my favorite series growing up, and like now you're getting the dude that did like the what is it called? Dead. I was gonna say Walking Dead. What's the freaking movies he directed? Evil Dead. He did like the two Evil Dead movies. I was like, bro, you're gonna take that and then combine that shit with Aliens? Like, I'm down, bro. I'm down for like a bloody, like ass kicking alien fest. So it looks good. I'm looking forward to that one.
Which
Um,
Evil Dead was it? The not the most recent, but like the pat like the second recent.
I thought he did both of them. Did he not do both of them? The 2016 and the 2022 Evil Deads?
I'd have to look at it because they're not like prequels. Like they're kind of like their own movies.
Yeah, they don't really like relate to each other. I mean, the lore helps a lot. But I don't think the second movie that came out directly correlates to what happened in the first movie. It's just kind of like in that shared universe. But I mean, they're fun. They're good like horror movies. And I like Alien, so that's one of my favorite franchises growing up. So looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'm down to see that one in
Um,
the movies too.
yeah. Let's see. What else is going on in Comic Con? I guess that's kind of it, man. Like, yeah, there's some Ninja Turtle stuff. I like the Ninja Turtles back in the day.
Is
Some Percy
it
Jackson stuff.
is the Ninja Turtles like the anime or is it like live action?
It's a cartoon.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's a cartoon, which I'm still waiting for them to come out with like the Ronin. I need to get that graphic novel, man. The Ninja Turtles Ronin, because that story looks so badass. But I heard they were trying to do some kind of like animated show or some kind of show related to Ronin. I'd be totally down for that. But yeah, not a lot of other announcements. That's kind of it.
Yeah. It says new Transformers 1 trailer. Uh so the headline is that it shows the humor and heartbreak of Optimus Prime and Megatron's breakup.
Aw. You know what? I actually was on Twitter and people were kind of like asking questions like if this takes place like so many billion like million years before Earth, like how do they know to turn into Earth vehicles already?
It's true.
Like, that's a good question, dude. Like, how do they know? Maybe the Transformers are the ones that gave us the technology to build vehicles. Like maybe like Optimus Prime dropped on like uh what's the guy that made like the first automobile, like something Ford? The
Oh, Harrison Ford.
No, not Harrison Ford. The actor, no, bro, the guy that made Ford, like the vehicle of Ford.
Yeah, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Henry, I think it was Henry Ford, no?
Yeah, yeah.
It's like Optimus Prime just drops it's like you will
Henry
have this
Ford's
movie.
backyard.
You will build a vehicle. Oh, anyways, that
Yeah.
was funny. Yeah, Deadpool Wolverine is getting some positive reviews. It's kind of like lukewarm though. Like they're not getting like it's not getting super high reviews. I think the tomatoes are good, but I also think I need to stop looking at reviews from IGN. IGN gives shitty reviews, man.
Or they give a 7
They-
to everything.
Yeah, they give it sevens and fives and sixes. I'm like, bro, like, who are you? Like, are you even watching the same show? What I hate about IGN is like they'll have somebody review like a show or a video game, but it is not their like genre of preference that they enjoy. It's like video games. It's like so and so will review Mortal Kombat. His favorite video games are Final Fantasy and Roblox. I'm like, well, why the fuck is he reviewing Mortal Kombat, bro? And he's like, oh, I give Mortal Kombat a 6. Too violent. I'm like, bro, you play Roblox.
Yeah.
Like, why do they have people review stuff that it's like not even the genre, you know?
Yeah, I mean that's IGN. I don't know who the fuck works there.
Crazy, bro. It's crazy. Yeah, but I can't help it, man. IGN has just so much information. Like they keep me up to date on everything, whether it's movies, like shows, trailers. Yeah, like I'm going through their timeline right now, and nothing sticks out. Like there's another Hellboy movie that looks weird. Like it looks like a budget indie film, the Hellboy movie.
Like straight to VCR.
Yeah, that's where I actually found out that the BioShock film was in the works. I didn't even know that was happening. I mean, I don't know, man. Everybody's really marketing off of the whole like video game adaptation thing. I don't think we've quite broken through yet. You know, I think that there's some gems. You know, you got The Last of Us,
Fallout.
Fallout. I think Borderlands is gonna be fucking terrible. It looks terrible.
I mean, it has
Like we've
Kevin Hart
already
in
seen
it.
3 trailers, dude. Like 3 trailers of that movie, and they all look terrible.
Yeah, I
Which kind
mean,
of scares me
anything with
because
Kevin Hart in it is gonna be terrible.
yeah, what scares me is BioShock is also a 2K Studios game. Borderlands is a 2K Studios game. So if Borderlands is bad, then I almost feel like BioShock will also be bad. So I don't know, man. We'll see.
I think Bioshock
We're
would
getting
be.
hyped soon.
Well, I think it would be better as a show because there's so
Yeah.
much lore and like so many characters and like so much storyline that they can do instead of like cramming it into like an hour and a half movie.
Yeah, and it's kind of like Fallout in that way. Like I feel like BioShock is kind of like a Fallout game where they share a lot of aesthetic similarities, you know? Like they both focus on that really old-timey retro like beginning civilization kind of thing. The like breakthrough of like industrial America, like very steampunky. Fallout was really like that, and BioShock was really like that too. So I don't know. Maybe doing a movie about it's a mistake. Like BioShock's been around for a long time. I don't know how you're gonna recapture that younger audience. Do younger people even know what BioShock is? Like I don't think anybody even knows what BioShock is.
Oh,
Like
no,
that's just for us.
yeah, because the last Bioshock game that came out was like it's been like a decade already. I feel like. So I'm hoping when the movie comes out that they actually cover like the first game. I feel like the first game would like be like a really good place to start. especially because like when the guy crashes and like goes underwater and stuff like that. I feel like that would be a really cool, especially for people that haven't played the game.
Mm.
It would be like a cool adventure to see what we experienced playing the game.
Yeah. Yeah, the first game was like really good. It was very groundbreaking. Story-wise, it was really good. I mean, if they follow the story, they can't go wrong because there's so much story. There's not a lot of games today that get me excited the way that BioShock did, the way that Dead Space did, the way that Gears of War did, like all those type of games that came out so long ago now, like literally over 10 years ago now. Like nothing really holds up to it anymore. But BioShock was such a good story, man. Even if the gameplay wasn't really your thing, because it was a first person shooter, but it was kind of a clunky first person shooter. This story was so good. Like it had so much lore and so much story. If anything, they just build off of that, and I feel like it should be successful. But I think people are just kind of on this video game hype train now, and I don't know, man. Like just because you got two of them that came out that were good, it doesn't mean that they're all going to be good from now on.
Yeah, that's true, but it definitely sets the bar for like what good is.
How's your Dodgers?
Bro, my fucking Dodgers, man. I don't even want to talk about it.
It's okay. My Yankees have been doing really bad, bro. Like we had like a 6-1 lead yesterday. I don't know who we played yesterday, man, but we had a 6-1 lead and they came back and we lost. Yeah, I think the final score is 9-6.
Damn.
We just have no bullpen. You know, I'm gonna go to my dad's text message and
Yeah, so as of right now, the Dodgers are playing the Astros.
yeah.
So currently, right now, the Dodgers are up 2-0. Friday, they lost the game 4-0. Bro, like we've lost like half of our team, man. Like Freddie Freeman went on family leave emergency because something's going on with his kid. So obviously, family over baseball. So they said that he's probably not gonna be back until like mid next week, which is fine. He needs to take care of what he needs to take care of. But I feel like this trade deadline is on Tuesday, 3 p.m. Pacific time. So I feel like a lot of trades are gonna go down. The Dodgers were trying to get some what's his name, like Luis Roberts from the White Sox, and also like Crochet, I think that's his name. He's a pitcher for the White Sox. And then like Crochet came out and said that like he's not gonna play in the postseason if he doesn't get a contract extension. And this dude has never played in the postseason, so he's already putting like his expectations pretty high. And I personally don't think the Dodgers are gonna go for it because he hasn't been like tried and tested. So if we do get him, it's just gonna be for like the next 2 months, and he's not gonna play in the postseason.
Damn. Well, talking about contract extensions, shifting over to football. So Jordan Love, my Green Bay quarterback, finally signed his record-breaking 4-year, $220 million freaking contract, which is crazy, man. I don't know how I feel about it, to be honest. Like, everybody's making such a big deal out of it. I like Jordan Love. I saw a lot of good things from him last year, but to throw that much money at him so soon, I feel like he still has so much to prove. Like I really think of last season as his rookie season. He had a lot of things that he still needed to work on. Like he makes some pretty wild throws. He doesn't make the best decisions. I think he still has a lot to learn. You're throwing like millions, like hundreds of millions of dollars at him already. I just don't know how that's going to affect his development on the team. And I'm sure there's like criteria. It's like, like we're giving you this money, you have to like hit these like check boxes throughout your season. But to me, he's still so young, man. And like it's scary when you have young players that get introduced to so much money so soon. It's almost like they don't have to work for it as much. I guess we'll see. But I'm not really excited about that much money, coming to him. Like he's going to be under a lot of scrutiny for the rest of the season. It's just like, oh yeah, Green Bay made a mistake. Like he wasn't that kind of a quarterback. Like he's no better than Justin Fields. Like he's no better than like whoever like a B tier quarterback is, and you just gave him $200 million.
Yeah,
That's my thoughts.
but I think luckily for Jordan Love, he has Josh Jacobs to back him up. So
Yeah.
if he is having a off throwing night, like he just hands the ball off, and Josh Jacobs is, man, I'm gonna miss him. So treat him good.
Yeah,
But
well, that's what happens when you take our wide receiver. You take our wide receiver, we'll take your running back.
yeah, I guess it was a straight up trade.
Yeah. Are you gonna watch that Netflix show where they're like following like three wide receivers in the NFL, and they got all like the hot mics of
Yeah,
Devontae Adams?
it's it's kind of like Hard Knocks, but it's like Netflix version.
Yeah,
I started to watch it, and honestly, bro, it was kind of boring.
it is kind of
I got
boring.
like 20 minutes into it, and I was just like, what else is on?
Hard Knocks is kind of boring too, man. And it's just like I was low key interested when they did the Jets because I wanted to see how Aaron Rodgers was going to do preseason. And then this season it's the Giants. I'm like, who the fuck cares about the Giants?
Yeah,
Like Mac
who do the
Jones.
Giants have? Because they
Mac
lost their running back. Like,
Jones.
who?
Yeah, Saquon Barkley left.
Yeah.
Mac Jones. Is it Mac Jones? Oh
Oh,
no,
that's
Mac
right.
Jones is Mac Jones on the Giants or is he on the Patriots? Who's the Patriots quarterback?
I don't know, man. I haven't really switched into football mode yet.
I like dragging this out.
I think when fantasy football starts up, then
Yeah.
we'll be more familiar with football names.
It's Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones is the QB for the Giants. Mac Jones is the QB for the Patriots. So
Okay, nice.
just hanging out with the Joneses. Anyways, yeah, football. Too early for football. Um, Getting kind of close to preseason though. I mean, we're only a month away from preseason, but I don't even get excited for preseason just yet. Like, it won't be till like deep into September that I start getting excited. So
Yeah,
I gotta defend my trophy.
yeah. I'm excited for fantasy football. I think we're gonna do it at Gio's house, his new house.
Yeah. That'd be cool, man. I saw pictures of his house and him like setting up his desk, and he's just like his desk is already bending.
Is it?
Yeah.
I didn't even see that.
Like, cause I texted him. I'm just like, hey, bro, like setup looks really nice. He's like, thanks. He's like, the tabletop's already bending though after we put a monitor. I'm like, oh.
Damn.
I'm like, get a tabletop from IKEA.
Yeah,
Yeah, but good for him. Good for them for getting their house. Congrats
yeah,
to Gio and Maria.
yeah. Congrats, Gio. Cheers.
Everybody getting houses now. Yeah, dang. I guess that's all I got for this episode. So, you want to take us out, Sir Carlos?
Yes, sir. Thank you guys for tuning in. We will be back next week, probably with reviews for Deadpool. We're gonna be talking about the last Game of Thrones episode, the one right before the season finale. So we'll probably have predictions on that, what we want to happen, just other news that we're gonna have. So stay tuned. Please like and subscribe. All of our socials are in the description. You guys can follow us there. I'm pretty active on everything. Sean's kind of sometimes active.
I'm not as active on the socials, but I'm there in the background, creeping.
Yeah. Leave a comment for whatever you guys are excited about from Comic-Con, and we always answer back. So don't be shy. And we will see you guys next week. Peace out.
Peace out, everybody.